Going on, family? I'm glad to be back with you, and today I want to share with you about is becoming an effective person. Becoming an effective person in this world right now, because I believe that you can become an effective person. And matter of fact, I know that it's the will of God for you to be effective. So today, the first step is what I want to talk to you about of becoming effective. And we might turn this into a little serious or whatever, but today I want to talk to you about becoming effective. So come on, journey with me. Let's talk about this today. Right? So the first thing that we got to do in order to become an effective person, right, is to make up our mind. Because being double-minded is dangerous. And so much that God said, let not a double-minded person expect that he will receive anything from God, right? It's powerful. And then Jesus say, you can't serve two masters. So I want to encourage you to, guess what? Make up your mind today. Make up your mind as to who you're going to serve, right? And I pray that you decide to serve the Lord today if you haven't already, because I don't know if you're a believer right now listening to this. You know, you could or could not be. But I want to encourage you to make up your mind to serve the Lord today. And even if you're not a believer, guess what? We could talk some more at the end of this about becoming a believer, becoming a child of God, receiving salvation, receiving the remission of your sins, being reconciled to God. You see what I'm saying? We could talk about that at the end. But right now I want to talk about the first step to becoming an effective person, right? And effectiveness is so necessary for the children and people of God, because it is actually us fulfilling God's purpose. And I say God's purpose because a lot of times we are looking for purpose, right? We are looking for direction. We are looking for that clarity, that vision, you know, as to what we should do. But this is the thing, right? When we come to God, guess what? We partake in his purpose. I don't think y'all hear me. See, it no longer is about us, but it's about God and his kingdom. But we benefit tremendously from being partakers in his kingdom. So today, let the first step you take to become an effective person, right, be the step of you making up your mind as to serving the Lord. You know, Joshua, he put it like this in Joshua 24:17. He said, guess what? Choose ye this day whom you will side. You got to make a decision. You got to make the decision. Choose this day whom you will serve. You got to decide to serve God. And you know, God was just about to lead them into the land of victory. And I want to point that out because God is trying to lead us into a land of victory, but we got to make up our mind as to what we're going to do when we get in this place, because God wants us to serve him and be a light. Just like he wanted the children of Israel to be a light to the surrounding nations that they was going to be in the midst of. See what I'm saying? See, God wants us to be a light in this culture in today's time. He wants us to be a light and to reflect, guess what? The ethics, the morality of his kingdom in this culture. See what I'm saying? It's deep. It's deep. It's deep. You know, and guess what? Because when we choose to be the light, guess what? We also step into that area of preserving. And what we want to do is preserve the culture of God. We don't want to preserve this culture. We want to preserve the culture of God. Because God's culture is not passing away, but this culture is passing away. See what I'm saying? So you gotta be on point with this stuff, because it's important. It's really important. So today, the first step to take is to make up your mind as to who you will serve, the Lord. And I hope that you serve the Lord, because if you really look at the life of Jesus, the disciples, these folks who are my brothers who were, you know, highly effective in the world, they affected the cultures that they was in. They was so in tune with God and making up their mind that they was responsible for producing the Gospels, which we learn and receive our theology from. And Jesus himself said, guess what? The Son of Man did not come to serve, but to be served. So we got to make up our mind as to who we will serve. And also know that, guess what? You will serve somebody ultimately in this world. You will be bound by some type of doctrine, some type of teaching, some type of pursuit. And to accomplish that, you will have to serve whatever it is that you're pursuing, even if it's yourself. And mainly that's where we at today. We all into self. What we want, how we want it, how we want it, how we like it, what we don't like. Gotta get up out your body. If you want to be effective, you gotta get up out your body.